Welcome back to the channel. On this episode I'm going to be cladding the roof of the van with tongue and groove pine cladding. What I'm using to stain it is a Ronseal stain, which is a 2-in-1, so it's a stain and it's a varnish all in one, and the colour I'm going for is walnut. 2-in-1 stain and varnish I'm going for. The reason I'm applying the stain and varnish before I secure it to the roof of the van is because once it's in the van and once the heat and the cold starts to actually affect the wood, what you'll see is the wood will shrink and expand, and then that will actually result in the gaps between the tongue and groove becoming bigger and smaller. So if you don't stain it prior to actually installing it and you stain it when it's on the roof, well then when those gaps become wider, then that's when you see the original raw wood, which will be white. You'll have strips of white. To prevent that, what you got to do is you got to apply this before you install it. So let's get staining. I've applied 2 coats of the stain and the varnish so far, and now what I'm going to do before the last coat is I'm going to sand it with 240 grit sandpaper. Ideally it probably should be 220 grit, but 240 grit is just as good. That's the type of sandpaper I'm using. What I'm going to do is lightly sand it, so all you want to do is just basically run the sandpaper over it and run your hand over it, and as soon as that rough part turns smooth, that's perfect. You don't need to do any more, because you don't want to sand off the stain that you've already applied with the brush. So that's very important, because once you sand off the stain, you then will have a patch there, and you want to avoid that. So what I'm going to do now is put on the final coat. Let's get to it. And what I'm using for this is I'm using a sanding block, so it's an M3 sanding block. That will allow me just to run along the flat surface like so, and then when I have that done I will run along the edges with this piece of sanding paper, and then when I finish that I will give it a quick wipe down with a cloth to get off any dust, and then I'll give it a final coat of the stain and the varnish, and hopefully that will be enough. So let's crack on with that and see how we get on. So that's what it's going to be like when I screw it into the pattern. Now that I'm happy with that screw, I'm going to cut them to length and secure them to the roof. Last night I completed almost half of the cladding on the roof. I'm really happy with how it's turned out. So what I'm going to do today is finish off the rest of it. I'm going to vapor barrier the wall, and this time I won't make the same mistake I made on the opposite wall, what I'll do is I'll run the vapor barrier all the ways up to connect with the roof. And what happened to me yesterday was when I went to install the cladding, I realized that there was a small gap. I will show you. So I realized that there was a gap here, and that really I needed to run that vapor barrier all the ways up from the walls and connect to the ceiling. So what I did was I foil taped the vapor barrier onto the roof, and then I got it in behind the ply lining, and I also taped it along here. So now we've got the vapor barrier running from the back of the wall and all the ways to the ceiling. So you've got one continuous vapor barrier. Otherwise that would have been broken, and this area would have been potentially susceptible to like condensation, and the wood here could be potential to rot or anything like that. So all those bad things. I've seen a lot of van builders, and what they do is at the very beginning, which is what I would do next time, is vapor barrier the entire van. But because I've never done this before, and I'm not a qualified electrician, and I don't really know much about electrics, the reason I didn't vapor barrier it is I knew that I was going to be running cables in behind the wall of the van. If I vapor barriered it, that means it's a final thing to do, and you can't really be going in putting in wires, cables after it. So what I did was I was trying to figure out as I was going where I was putting cables and what I needed cables for. Like for example, the water heater here, I had to run a cable from the batteries to the water heater. The water heater only went in a few weeks ago, and that would mean that I would have had to run them along the ground, and that's also okay. I could have ran it up by the back of the bed in the garage area, but if you're running like 40 cables in the van, well then you can't run all the cables through the back of the bed, and some of them have to go up along here or up through the walls. I'm going to stop the cladding just around here, and then because I can't run it all the ways to that side of the van yet, because I want to run the vapor barrier all the ways up to the ceiling and make one continuous vapor barrier all the ways up, and not to make the same mistake that I did on this side. Sunday morning, and I'm still working on the roof of the van, working on the cladding, and it's raining quite a lot here, and it's very hard to get stuff done. So what I'm going to do is erect a gazebo that I purchased from Amazon, because what's happening is it might only rain for 10 minutes, and then I take it all in, and then you have to wait till the rain stops, then you take it all out, set it all back up, plug in plugs, plug out plugs, close the van doors, all this, and it's really annoying, and it's very hard to get any kind of good bit of work done in the day. So I'm hoping that this gazebo is going to change that. So fingers crossed. I will leave a link in the description for the gazebo if you like it, and if I think it's any good, I'll let you know how I get on with it. So let's go and set that up. So that's it. That's the gazebo, and very easy to put up, like 2 minutes once you figure out what you're doing, and then it's quite big. So I didn't even think it was going to be this big. So it's big enough to fit the chop saw under it, and a couple of hand tools like the jigsaw and any other stuff that I'll be using outside, and it'll just keep it from getting wet, so I'm not having to bring it in and out of the house when it's just a passing shower. What I also purchased was 2 side panels. So they're these side panels. I'm hoping that will allow me, whatever way the wind is blown, if the rain is blown in, I'll put them up on that side. But for me, I just needed to cover my tools for now. So I'm installing these Bluetooth speakers into the ceiling, and I've got to make a cutout on the cladding for the installation of the speaker. So this will recess into the kingspan, and I already have that recessed out in the kingspan and then foil taped. Now what I have to do is make a bigger cutout on the cladding, so I can then actually mount this onto the cladding. So the way I've done that is I'm using this as a template. This is on the back of the actual Bluetooth speaker. This is where the speaker is going to go, just right here. And as you can see, I have it recessed out for the speaker and I have it foil taped. And then what I did was I ran the cables that came with the speaker along the roof, and it's just taped on with some masking tape all the ways along, and it's running down here. And that's going to go either into the wardrobe or down around here somewhere in that mess. So right beside that, an LED light will be going in there. I just have that tucked away. So what I did to get the measurements is I measured in. First off, I put up the cladding and I marked it out. I marked out the length from here to where I've stopped all this cladding, and then I've cut that, and then I've placed it up, marked with a pencil exactly where it is, at what point it is on the cladding. And then what I've done is I've now measured in from this cladding into where the recess starts, and that's 2.5 inches. That's where I'm going to place this I'm going to use this as a template because it has to be this wide. I've marked it out using this template on the wood. What I did was I came in 2.5 inches that I measured from on the ceiling, then put this down, the template, then marked it out, and this bit will sit into the recess, and the rest of it will actually clear the cladding. So now I'm going to cut out that and get this fitted, and I'll also cut out for the light here. Ceiling is almost complete. I've just got one more strip to do, then we're finally finished with the cladding, and I can attach the LED lights, I can attach the Bluetooth speakers. That's the end of this episode, and the cladding of the roof is now complete. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you found it useful, and you've got some tips and ideas for your own van build. If you did enjoy it, please do subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, and click that notification bell, and you'll be notified for future videos in the van build series. It's really coming along now with the roof installed, and the next thing to do is to hook up the LED lights and stick on the trim for the 2 roof lights, and also hook up the 2 Bluetooth speakers and secure them to the cladding on the ceiling. So thanks a million for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.